First off, excuse the hair. Been out in the yard wearing my cousin Eddie hat while I'm clearing out more stuff, getting ready for the studio. So, that's what it is. Anyway, wanted to give a little breakdown. First time I figured out how technology-wise I can do this. But that funk song I did for Buddy Leach, wanted to give the breakdown of kind of how I came up with the different stuff. Not that it's groundbreaking or anything, because it's not. I just tried to lay some smack down and make him happy with it, and it worked out. So I just kind of want to let you hear the process that happens when Buddy or someone else sends me a song, be like, hey man, need some drums on it, here's what I'm thinking. So that's basically what it is. First off, put the tune in, I kind of listen. Sometimes Buddy will send it with a drum machine part just as a reference. It's not what he wants me to do, but just kind of, I think that way he can play along with it and come up with his stuff. So the drum pattern on it he had was basically a it just repeats the whole song. So he also sends me one with no drums, so I can kind of, you know, put a metronome on it and come up with different ideas. I kind of take the Neil approach, where I remember reading in Modern Drummer back in the 80s that Neil said he would start with everything possible and narrow it down to what he thought worked. I always kind of like that. I know Gad does the opposite. Gad starts from the simplest spot. I'm kind of in the middle depending on what it is. So, and this one I was more, let me just kind of listen to it and hear a couple things rhythmically that kind of kick in. So anyway, here's a little bit of the track when it first starts. Again, this is rough cut. Buddy's not even done with it yet. There's vocals coming on that track. I think he's not going to do that whole sax thing he did on it. But regardless, here's what I originally heard.
1, 2, 3, oh.
So it's kind of that vibe, so I'll just fill it in with that type thing, and then the groove of the verse kicks in like this. So I thought it was kind of, it's a 2-bar phrase, and I'd kind of, beat 3 just kind of hung out with me, and so that's where I would do the. World Max snare, by the way, the ghost notes are just killing on this thing, so I wanted to kind of bring that out because I thought it was cool, give it that little, what was that sound? The. Also, one thing I noticed as I was playing back is that I'm kind of swinging it a little bit. Not much, but just giving it a little bit of a, I guess lope is the word, but here it is straight. So what I ended up doing was so you can kind of hear that. Back it up a little bit and play straight, and then I'll do the 16th swung a little bit. So that's kind of the difference with that. Then he goes into the kind of bump, 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 bump. And I wasn't sure exactly what to do. I was kind of hearing a doom, doom, pa, bum, bum on the floor toms, the. But then I thought it might be a little early to do that, so I ended up doing double hi-hat. And then with the song. And that section only is 6 bars. It's kind of different. Maybe had a, like, whoa, whoa, don't miss that. So yeah, it cuts off at 6 bars, then goes into a chorus, and that's where I build it up with the ride cymbal, and kind of like the beginning. So I figured I'd bring it back like that. Seemed to work. It was more like this. You can hear his little drum machine thing kicking in there. So to me, that was like, oh, okay, he was wanting to hold it for a bar and then do something snare, kick hat stuff. So I messed around with different stuff. You know, ended up doing a couple different things. What I ended up doing on the video was just some kind of, I call it a flutter lick. You've seen the videos about it. Just that fun stuff, man. So anyway, here's kind of how I did that. So then back into it. This time I added a little more on the hi-hat, again swinging it still. But this pattern I've come up with over the years, I've done it for a while. It's kind of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and on the hi-hat. So in the whole groove, it's and I'm kind of doing the Phil Gold, Gavin Harrison did it also. Just gives it just a different vibe, and I like it. So that's all I'm doing is, and for whatever reason, beat 3, I just do 3 and. So here that is again. So that is where I've repeated that again, but this time with the floor tom, because I thought I'd give it a little edge. Experimented doing riding between the two at first, and I thought it was too much right off the bat. So that's what I was doing the last time, but for the second time there, I was doing. So, and there's that hit on 2 that is a boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Screwing around with the fill again. Anyway, that's where it goes into the guitar solo, and I figured from there I would just kind of bash it, you know, that crash in the ride type thing. And then after the guitar solos, it goes into the real quiet section, although the drum machine was still going the whole time when I got it. But I listened, and I mean, this is what I heard. So I'm hearing that 2 and 4 on the kick drums, what I'm hearing. A little more intense, doing more of that. But just kind of digging in a little more, and then going to the ride after that. So it does that section again. Actually 8 bars instead of 6, like the other 2 times. And then it goes into the build at the end. Obviously not what I did, but again, I'm leaning towards those hits. So, but that's what I did at the end. So that's pretty much it. Except this is a pretty straight ahead tune with some rhythmic, not challenges, but some rhythmic hits that are, Buddy always does some great rhythmic things that are interesting for me to come up with different stuff. Just because it's not stated all the time, but there's these rhythms that are in there that it's fun to lean towards. And when you do, and he puts the other stuff with it, it's like, oh yeah, that was cool, man. So love working with Buddy. And it's kind of fun and different at the same time because he's in Mississippi and I'm up here in Tennessee. So but everything's emailed back and forth. Hey man, what do you think about this? He goes, yeah, that's pretty cool. How about this in this section? So, but anyway, just wanted to kind of share how I came up with what I did and like how I approach stuff when I get it. I'll do more of this if y'all like it. And just kind of gives you the idea of how I'm approaching it and what I come up with and all that. So anyway, hope that helps and we'll talk at you later.